Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rebecca Reichel. This is Supervising Projects and Teams. The key issues we have are lack of communication, conflicting priorities, and underperforming team members. So, lack of communication. Contractors are working on projects. Teachers are frustrated because they feel they're not given adequate updates on progress and construction activities throughout the school. This affects the learning of their students on a regular basis. And schedules are also not shared regularly, and the contractor makes last-minute changes to their schedule despite what they shared with school staff. Conflicting priorities. Contractors are threatened with financial consequences if they don't meet deadlines. Teachers are trying to function like normal despite construction happening throughout the school. Some teachers have needed to seek alternative learning spaces for their students. Underperforming team members. So some project expectations are not being made by certain team members. Some work done by contractors is subpar, causing for the need for that work to be redone. Construction areas are also not always cleaned adequately or secured safely for students. And information is not always communicated by admin to teachers in an appropriate time. So potential consequences for these key issues. A dangerous environment for children if learning areas are not clean or secure. There's rushed construction that could lead to the job being done incorrectly. We've already seen this. This costs a lot of extra time and a lot of extra money. There's a clear sense of resentment that I see from the lack of communication, and schedules are not being shared. And this can cause a disruption in student learning. And student learning is being sacrificed due to the disrupted learning environment that we've seen. So strategies to address these challenges. The first strategy is weekly updates at designated times each week. So I suggest that we have weekly updates at least every Friday, and maybe again on Monday if necessary. So we can provide a weekly update to all team members on Friday afternoons so teachers can know what to expect for the following school week. And if changes need to be made, they need to be made and communicated immediately. So this puts less of an interruption on the student learning, and teachers can know how they can support their students, and we can even provide them with semi-permanent learning spaces in the event that a change does occur that disrupts the student learning. Construction areas will be safely secured from students, and any mess that comes from a construction area will immediately be cleaned, and it will be cleaned properly. Delegating tasks and supporting stakeholders. The administration and support staff members who are supposed to be communicating with exact areas of the building, these professionals will gain accurate and concise updates, report these in these weekly communications that I mentioned earlier to grade level leaders. These grade level leaders will report these updates to grade level teams. I will set up a system for stakeholders to communicate their concerns and questions so they may be addressed properly and accurately. This will be a system of checks and balances and will offer accountability to everyone holding a responsibility within this project. This will lead to less miscommunication, more questions and concerns addressed meaningfully and accurately, and hopefully the completion of this project with less frustration, with more patience, and within a quicker amount of time. Evaluating individuals. The delivery of weekly communications is one way we will evaluate the individuals who are leaders throughout this project. The communication of last minute changes. We know the last minute changes are going to happen, and if we see that these changes are communicated well and clearly and immediately, then that will be a great indicator for evaluating these individual leaders. Monitoring how questions and concerns are addressed. So this is another way we will evaluate how individuals and teams are following through with project criteria, such as maintaining safe and clean environments. We need to see everybody doing their part. Culture of distributed leadership. By giving leadership to different members of the team, there can be a balance of leadership with smaller subgroups of people for leaders to communicate to. Communication is expected on a regular basis, with multiple leaders anticipating regular communication, creating a system of checks and balances of sorts, so we can all know what's going on and we can all make sure that everyone else is doing their part. This regular communication can lead to more immediate problem solving before problems grow even larger. When we address a problem quickly, we can address it before it grows into something that we can't handle anymore. Following channels of communication and addressing concerns, stakeholders can remain connected and know what to expect. Nobody should be out of the loop. With this connectedness we create, the project can be done with less error and in a quicker amount of time.